Hello, everyone. Welcome to Drama Corner. Today, we're exploring A Faint Heart by Dostoyevsky, a narrative of love's trials and human vulnerability. Under the same roof, in the same flat, on the same fourth story, lived two young men, colleagues in the service, Arkady Ivanovich Nefedovich and Vasya Shumkov. The author, of course, feels the necessity of explaining to the reader why one is given his full title, while the other's name is abbreviated, if only that such a mode of expression may not be regarded as unseemly and rather familiar. But to do so, it would first be necessary to explain and describe the rank and years and calling and duty in the service, and even, indeed, the characters of the persons concerned. And since there are so many writers who begin in that way, the author of the proposed story, solely in order to be unlike them, that is, some people will perhaps say, entirely on account of his boundless vanity, decides to begin straight away with action. Having completed this introduction, he begins. Towards 6 o'clock on New Year's Eve, Shumkov returned home. Arkady Ivanovich, who was lying on the bed, woke up and looked at his friend with half-closed eyes. He saw that Vasya had on his very best trousers and a very clean shirt front. That, of course, struck him. Where had Vasya to go like that? And he had not dined at home either. Meanwhile, Shumkov had lighted a candle, and Arkady Ivanovich guessed immediately that his friend was intending to wake him accidentally. Vasya did, in fact, clear his throat twice, walked twice up and down the room, and at last, quite accidentally, let the pipe, which he had begun filling in the corner by the stove, slip out of his hands. Arkady Ivanovich laughed to himself. "Vasya, give over pretending," he said. "Arkasha, you are not asleep." "I really cannot say for certain. It seems to me I am not." "Oh, Arkasha, how are you, dear boy?" Well, brother. You don't know what I have to tell you." "I certainly don't know. Come here." As though expecting this, Vasya went up to him at once, not at all anticipating, however, treachery from Arkady Ivanovich. The other seized him very adroitly by the arms, turned him over, held him down, and began, as it is called, strangling his victim. And apparently, this proceeding afforded the light-hearted Arkady Ivanovich great satisfaction. "Caught!" he cried. "Caught! Arkasha, what are you about? Let me go. For goodness sake, let me go. I shall crumple my dress coat." As though that mattered. What do you want with a dress coat? Why were you so confiding as to put yourself in my hands? Tell me, where have you been? Where have you dined? Arkasha, for goodness sake, let me go. Where have you dined? Why, it's about that I want to tell you. Tell away, then. But first, let me go. Not a bit of it. I won't let you go till you tell me. Arkasha! But do you understand? I can't. It is utterly impossible, cried Vasya, helplessly wriggling out of his friend's powerful clutches. You know there are subjects. How? Subjects? Why, subjects that you can't talk about in such a position without losing your dignity. It's utterly impossible. It would make it ridiculous. And this is not a ridiculous matter. It is important. Here, he's going in for being important. That's a new idea. You tell me so as to make me laugh. That's how you must tell me. I don't want anything important. Or else, you are no true friend of mine. Do you call yourself a friend? Eh? Arkasha, I really can't. Well, I don't want to hear. Well, Arkasha, began Vasya, lying across the bed and doing his utmost to put all the dignity possible into his words. Arkasha, if you like, I will tell you. Only, Ivanovich took Vasya up in his arms like a baby, though the latter was by no means short, but rather long and thin, and began dexterously carrying him up and down the room, pretending that he was hushing him to sleep. "I'll put you in your swaddling clothes, Master Bridegroom," he kept saying. But seeing that Vasya lay in his arms, not stirring or uttering a word, he thought better of it at once, and reflecting that the joke had gone too far, set him down in the middle of the room and kissed him on the cheek in the most genuine and friendly way. "Vasya, you are not angry? Arkasha, listen. Come, it's New Year's Eve." "Oh, I'm all right. But why are you such a madman? Such a scatterbrain? How many times I have told you. Arkasha, it's really not funny at all." "Oh, well, you are not angry?" "Oh, I'm all right. Am I ever angry with anyone? But you have wounded me, do you understand?" "But how have I wounded you? In what way?" "I come to you as to a friend, with a full heart, to pour out my soul to you, to tell you of my happiness." "What happiness? Why don't you speak?" "Oh, well, I am going to get married," Vasya answered with vexation, for he really was a little exasperated. You're going to get married? So you really mean it?" Arkasha cried at the top of his voice. No. But what's this? He talks like this, and his tears are flowing. "Vasya, my little Vasya, don't, my little son. Is it true, really?" And Arkady Ivanovich flew to hug him again. "Well, do you see how it is now?" said Vasya. "You are kind, of course. You are a friend, I know that. I come to you with such joy, such rapture, and all of a sudden, I have to disclose all the joy of my heart. All my rapture struggling across the bed in an undignified way." "You understand, Arkasha," Vasya went on, half laughing. "You see, it made it seem comic. And in a sense, I did not belong to myself at that minute. I could not let this be slighted. What's more, if you had asked me her name, I swear, I would sooner you killed me than have answered you. But Vasya, why did you not speak? You should have told me all about it sooner, and I would not have played the fool," cried Arkady Ivanovich in genuine despair. "Come, that's enough. That's enough. Of course, that's how it is. You know what it all comes from my having a good heart. What vexes me is that I could not tell you as I wanted to, making you glad and happy, telling you nicely, and initiating you into my secret properly. Really, Arkasha, I love you so much that I believe if it were not for you, I shouldn't be getting married. And in fact, I shouldn't be living in this world at all." Arkady Ivanovich, who was excessively sentimental, cried and laughed at once as he listened to Vasya. Vasya did the same. Both flew to embrace one another again and forgot the past. How is it? How is it? Tell me all about it, Vasya. I'm astonished. Excuse me, brother, but I am utterly astonished. It's a perfect thunderbolt, by Jove." Nonsense, brother. You have made it up. You've really made it up. You are telling fibs, cried Arkady Ivanovich. And he actually looked into Vasya's face with genuine uncertainty, but seeing in it the radiant confirmation of a positive intention of being married as soon as possible, threw himself on the bed and began rolling from side to side in ecstasy till the walls shook. "Vasya, sit here," he said at last, sitting down on the bed. "I really don't know, brother, where to begin." They looked at one another in joyful excitement. "Who is she, Vasya?" "The Artemievs," Vasya pronounced, in a voice weak with emotion. "No? Well, I did buzz into your ears about them at first, and then I shut up, and you noticed nothing. Ah, Arkasha, if you knew how hard it was to keep it from you. But I was afraid to speak. I thought it would all go wrong, and you know I was in love, Arkasha. My God. You see, this was the trouble, he began, pausing continually from agitation. She had a suitor a year ago, but he was suddenly ordered somewhere. I knew him. He was a fellow, bless him. Well, he did not write at all. He simply vanished. They waited and waited, wondering what it meant. 4 months ago, he suddenly came back married and has never set foot within their doors. It was coarse, shabby, and they had no one to stand up for them. She cried and cried, poor girl, and I fell in love with her. Indeed, I had been in love with her long before, all the time. I began comforting her and was always going there. Well, and I really don't know how it has all come about, only she came to love me. A week ago, I could not restrain myself. I cried, I sobbed, and told her everything. Well, that I love her. Everything, in fact. I am ready to love you too, Vasily Petrovich. Only I am a poor girl. Don't make a mock of me. I don't dare to love anyone. Well, brother, you understand. You understand. On that, we got engaged on the spot. I kept thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. I said to her, "How are we to tell your mother?" She said, "It will be hard. Wait a little. She's afraid. And now maybe she would not let you have me. She keeps crying too." Without telling her, I blurted it out to her mother today. Lizanka fell on her knees before her. I did the same. Well, she gave us her blessing. Arkasha, my dear fellow, we will live together. No, I won't part from you for anything. Vasya, look at you as I may, I can't believe it. I don't believe it, I swear. I keep feeling as though... Listen, how can you be engaged to be married? How is it I didn't know, eh? Do you know, Vasya, I will confess it to you now. I was thinking of getting married myself. But now, since you are going to be married, it is just as good. Be happy. Be happy. Brother, I feel so light-hearted now. There is such sweetness in my soul, said Vasya, getting up and pacing about the room excitedly. Don't you feel the same? Thanks for watching A Faint Heart Part 1 on Drama Corner. If you liked this episode, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Don't miss out on A Faint Heart Part 2. Hit the notification bell to stay updated. See you in the next episode.